much, and I'm getting ready to start testing some flashlights. I'm using a light on my camera right now so that you can actually even see me. I know if you look back there, it still looks like there is plenty of light. There isn't, not where I'm at, under this canopy. So as I'm recording, the footage is quite ugly, and the light that I've got now actually helps it out a whole lot. If I remember to, like I said, I'm an old man, I forget shit. If I remember to, I'm going to put this light that I am using in the description below, or possibly up here or up there, wherever they go, in the video. That way you too can check the light out, because I can guarantee you, if I bought it, it was not expensive. So, and it's actually working really well. If I remember correctly, when I got it, it came probably about 50 to 60% charged. So it took maybe an hour to charge up, and now that I'm actually getting to utilize it, I am happy with my purchase. So yeah, I'll try to remind myself to do that. Let you guys see the link for it and everything, because like I said, I know I didn't pay a lot for it, and equipment for this kind of stuff, it's not cheap, is it? It can run a pretty penny, especially a real pretty shiny bright little penny. But I'm going to be testing some what are those things called? Flashlights. I'm going to be testing some flashlights and some other lights here in a few minutes. I'm just waiting for it to get dark enough to where I can't see in front of my face anymore, which will make testing the lights that much more fun. And apparently Coco is sleeping. Yeah, that's what Coco does. Hey Coco, wake up. Wake up, Coco. There you go. Good girl. Yeah. See, this is what a good dog looks like right here. Let me see if I can turn you around. Skirt. Yep, there she is. That's Coco. In case anyone was doubting her existence. Star of the show, as it were. Yep. But anyway, come on. Move. There we go. Alright. So yeah. So far, just waiting for night to come. And it's quickly approaching. It'll be here any minute. So I'll start testing those lights. And you know what? While I'm thinking about it, because Lord help me, I'm forgetful. I forget stuff. I want to say a lovely little shout out to my niece, Amanda, for buying me this for Christmas or my birthday. Again, I have trouble remembering. They're so close together. There's barely a week between them. Okay, barely a week, if a week. I think it's 6 days maybe. I don't know. But she got me this for Christmas, and this knife has been very useful. These bugs, however, are very annoying. If there was a way to charge them rent, I would do it. Very annoying. But shout out to her for the very excellent birthday gift or Christmas gift, and shout out to Paul Weekly, who also, I believe, was partly responsible for this particular gift as well. They're a team. You know how it is. You know, married couples. When you get a gift from one, you're getting a gift from the other. It's teamwork. You know, the way God intended. Alrighty. Oh, you know what? While we're talking, why not, right? this is the light. Ooh, that is some special brightness. This is the light that that I had found on Amazon, not Temu, that I had found on Amazon that I have actually brought out to my last few camping trips. Honestly, testing it out because, you know, for the amount of money that this light is, it says high intensity searchlight. For the amount of money that I paid for it, I had suspicions. You know what I mean? Like I was sincerely thinking it is. I'm not gonna like this light. I love this light. This light is invaluable to me, honestly. One of the cool things about this light is it comes with these little colored lens covers. This one's yellow. It's also got a blue and a red one in there as well. And if you know anything about yellow, blue, and red, you can make colors like purple, green, and orange. And I'm pretty sure if you use all three of them, you'd probably make black or brown or something. Has this right here. It's removable. It's a little guard that goes on the front of it. I recommend using this. Not that I've dropped it or anything, but, well, if you drop it, it won't crack as long as you've got that on it, hopefully. Now, if you toss it up in the air and let gravity take its course, it'll probably break. I wouldn't recommend that. Comes with a Type-C, that's what I thought. Comes with a little Type-C cable charger that you can tell I have never used because I have approximately 1.7 million of them. Yeah. They're everywhere. Has a little plastic, see there? Has a little plastic cover covering a USB port and a C port, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, a USB port and a Type-C port. And it's got a little lamp function. That's what that is. That's it. And I'm a lamp, see? And we're going to be testing this out a little later as well. Just as soon as it gets dark enough to bother doing that. Now, the only thing there is to do is but to do it, and to do it, we just gotta sit tight and wait for the void to arrive. Alrighty. Well, thank you. I'll see you later. Okay, everybody. Not sure if you can tell from all the noise that is around me, but it is nighttime. I know, the camera light's working pretty doggone good. Well, it's not the camera light, it's the light I bought for the camera setup, so, you know. Now we're going to test the lights that I was mentioning earlier. The first one we're going to test is the Smith & Wesson. If I remember correctly, this was 340 lumens. And it is a single light diode inside that little thing right there. And we're going to check this out. See what it looks like shining off into the darkness. If you're wondering what the darkness looks like, I'll show you real quick. Yeah, that is it. That's just complete pitch black nothingness, which is exactly what I'm seeing. So don't worry, we're in good company. We're in this together. All right. Now, this light has a little feature on it. See how it's blinking like that when you push the button? That's a locking mechanism. So in case it accidentally gets hit or something like that, it doesn't, see, it doesn't come on. What you do is you hold it down, and then it flashes green. Once it flashes green, it's good to go. You can turn it on. And woo, I just blinded you. Sorry about that. But as you can see, this light, it's got a pretty good beam on it. I don't think it's a $34 beam, but you know what? That's for other people to determine. Boy, the bugs really love these lights. All right, let's spin you around. And that's what the light looks like shining out into the nothingness there, the void, as I shall call it. Calm down, Coco. We're just checking out the light here. Everything's cool. All right. We're going to turn you back around here. Hello there. And we're going to do a quick lumen test, or illuminance flux test. If I can quit shining that light in your eyes. I apologize. I am a rookie after all. This is my illuminance. Woo, hello there. This is my illuminance flux meter, otherwise known as a light meter. We're going to turn it on. Right now it is reading absolutely 0. Oh, there's no way in hell you can see that. Oh wait, you might have been able to see that. Yeah, see, the closer you get to the light, the more it comes up with a reading. So we're going to hold it away from here, approximately 12 inches. It becomes different. From right here, I'm getting 390 lumens, 387. So right there, it tends to go, yeah, about 387 to 390 lumens. And that's holding it about that far apart. That's maybe just over a foot. This light's supposed to be 340 lumens. That pretty much falls into the effectiveness range of just about any kind of illuminance flux light meter. When you're done with it, push the button one time, that turns it off. Hold it down. And see how it started flashing red? Hold it down and it's locked again. So you can't just accidentally hit a button and lose your battery, which is good because this is rechargeable. Last thing you want to do is end up on the bad side of an uncharged battery. Trust me, I've been there. Not with a light, however, with the camera, and quite recently. You are making too much noise and you're annoying me. Alright. The next one we're going to check is this little single diode monster right here. And I am going to look and see how to turn it on because I never did pay attention to that. I think I see an on button. I better point that away from my face. Oh, hello. It's just single click, so you don't gotta... Hello. Ready to hear a scary story? They're out of chicken wings. Anyway, there's the brightness of this little monkey. Yeah, I know. Speaking of little monkeys, where did mine go? Huh. I have apparently lost a dog. Coco? Oh, there you are. She was under the chair, hiding behind my legs. I don't know why she does that. Alright, we're going to flip you around so you can see the void. Alright, before and after. Not a bad little light. It's doesn't appear to be as direct, or as I would probably describe it, sharp as the last beam, but it's definitely more spread out. It illuminates a wider area, but the area in which it does illuminate, it's not as bright, which, you know, you got to kind of expect since it's such a big, chunky light diode. Okay. Now we're back around here and see what this light rates on the old light meter. If I could turn it towards it instead of away from it. Alright. This one's actually reading a pretty good number. And I think I might have it a little bit too far away. Yeah, this is actually coming up between 400 and 450. 400 and 450. So again, this is a illuminance flux reader, so it'll be reading, you know, how much it illuminates over the area. Directly, like, sharp into it, you know, it's reading up into 1,000 range. So, you know, we know that's not 1,000 lumens. But from this perspective right here, which is about 11 to 12 inches, it's saying 220 lumens based on the length versus lumens and luminance. And yeah, there's a difference. Oh boy. Wow. Seizure! It's flashing. Okay, there we go. It's turned off. Alright. That was, or both of those, I should say, both of those were from the Battle Box lights. This one is from Temu, and it has a little similar diode like that on the side of it that acts as kind of like a lantern. And this little lantern right here, it's bright. Like if I'm holding it to where it's pointing at my face, it actually brightens things. All you see is that everything around it is just white. It's hard to orientate yourself when that thing's on. The beam itself, okay, this is not no high intensity light, but this is a dang good flashlight, especially for the $3 I paid for it. I'm going to turn you around and show you the void. There you are. And here is the light. There we go. See how you get a much sharper length on the beam. You can see that tree that's all the way out there. Got the moon out there in the distance, in case anyone's wondering what that other light is. Yep, that's the moon. Alright. You can see as far as that tree out there. Now that, it looks like the furthest I can see with this, and I mean see it like clearly, it's looking like about 50 yards. Now, that being said, let's switch to the lower setting. You can see it's not as bright, but you still get a pretty good bit of luminance from it. Flashing, and then there's the lantern. See? Pretty good bit of light from the lantern as well. It's about the equivalent to that keychain light, quite honestly. Alright. Back again. again. Now, this time, I'm going to check the lantern with the light meter, just for giggles, because I feel like it. And from its perspective, we're getting between 380 to 400 lumens. So this is actually a pretty decent little lantern. Now we're going to check the high beams, as I call them, the spotlight, as it were, and see what we get from it. Because I couldn't tell you what this thing was rated for on Temu. I'm not even sure it had a rating. But she's looking like, looks like about 800 lumens. It fluctuates between 8 and 9, depending on, of course, the angle of the light. But, you know, there is the margin of error between any kind of light meter device. It's never going to be like 100% exact. Some of them are off by about 3%. Some of them are off by as much as a third. So if you ever need to be very sure, test it again. And we are getting depending on the composition or the position of the light composition, good God, we're getting anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 lumens. So this is a very decent light for $3. And as I said, I've been taking this on my last 3 or 4 camping trips. It's been clutch, put it that way. It has been invaluable. Now, the next light is the one from Amazon that was closer to $12, if I remember correctly. But since then, the price on this has actually gone up. It's now $16. And that's the problem with things on Amazon. If people, and there's more reviews on this particular light itself. Would you go away? There's more reviews on this particular light itself because a lot of folks are saying good things about it. When I got it, it was $12. When the previous reviewers got it, it was $10. So it's only going up in price. Imagine that. Somebody that makes these, heard about, makes these, sells them or whatever, saw the reviews and was all of a sudden like, oh wait, people are willing to spend more for that light? Let's figure that out. Had to see where my doggie went. She likes to wander around in the dark. I lost her just a few minutes ago, just before coming to do this video. The silly thing, I was sitting out there on the, what do you call those things? Toilets, I guess. I don't know. It's an outhouse. I don't know if you call that thing a toilet or not. Anyway, I was in the outhouse. She was sitting with me, and the next thing I know, she just gets up and walks away. I'm calling for her, and she just kept on walking. She's paying me no mind whatsoever. So I hurry up and get out of there, get my business done, and I start looking for her. I can't see her. I'm worried, because there's stuff out here that she don't need to be messing with. And the silly thing was like almost out to where the street was. That's like 60 yards away. And as I'm like, yelling for her, Coco, get your ass back here. She finally, I can see her eyes shining off in the distance from where she's running back to me. And I'm just like, where in the world did you even go? God only knows. So, yeah, life of a dog. You're curious, you walk away, you figure it out, you come back if you can. Anyway, this light here has a few functions. One of them is I guess you'd call it a high intensity spotlight. That's the very first function. The next one is a bit of a dimmer light, more of a medium. and then you got that thing, that strobing eye gouging thing, then it has a lantern on it, okay? And just for fun, why not? A lighter lantern, little less bright. Hopefully it doesn't blind you. And then, yeah, that'll get you a ticket quick. So, but it does have a really cool feature that I like that the other one I believe had as well. So you turn on the bulb, right? You don't want to go through all those clicky, clicky, clicky. Just hold it down. And it shuts off. I like that. That's smart. It also, if I had never mentioned, I might not have because I'm old and forgetful, it's got a little plastic thing, waterproof plastic thing, by the way. It's got like a little O-ring inside of it right there that covers the USB port, the C port. It is a C, right? Yeah, the C port, and the little button to tell whether or not it needs charge. Fully charged. Which is surprising because I've been using it quite a while, especially when Coco came up missing just a few moments ago. That there is basically the lantern and the police strobulator diode. That is a solar panel. I've heard from the other reviewers that their little solar bit was quite weak. I can tell you that this, I'm pretty sure it doesn't function at all. I'm pretty sure that is a decoration. It advertises it on the box as like a solar, you could charge it with the sun. Yeah, right. I had this thing sitting out in the sun for 8 hours. 8 hours. And not one of those little bars came back. Not one of them. After 8 hours of charging in direct sunlight. Direct. I mean, it was just right down on it, man. Nearly 90 degrees outside. So, I have absolutely no faith in that whatsoever. If you get one of these, keep it charged. That's not doing anything. Not for me anyway. So, we'll go ahead and spin you around. Shine this off into the distance. See what we're looking at here. Alright. There's the high intensity beam. See how sharp that is? Nice and bright. It goes down a little bit further than that other one, which you would hope it would, since it's, well, since it's nearly $10 more than the other one. And currently, definitely $10 more. But you never know. They might have a sale on these things. Here's the secondary beam. Oh, wait, that's the third one. Sorry. I must accidentally hit the trigger. Alright, first beam, second beam. There we go. Yeah, I saw it come down a little bit that time. This one here is probably about the strength of the last one. But it has a stronger center profile. It's got a stronger sharpness in the center there. And then you got the strobe. We'll get through that. And here's the lantern. Or what I call the lantern anyway. See how it brightens up a wider field. Definitely looks like it's a little bit brighter than that last one. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a lot brighter. There's the second strobe. That one's probably more like the last light that we checked out. Still a good little lantern light. The only thing weird about this is when you hold it, you got to hold it sideways because, you know, it's got a trigger to trigger it. And I'm used to operating things with a trigger pointing at what I want to be aimed at. And then we got the blues and the reds. You don't never want to see these behind you. Alright, come on back around. Okie doke. There are just bugs everywhere. They don't let up at all, do they? Man, good God, they're like trying to take over or something. All right, we're going to test the high beam and see what kind of illumination we get from it. Yeehaw. That's a lot of illumination right there. It's reading between 3,500 and 4,000 lumens. Moving it around, it goes down to about 2,000. So from this distance, it's basically it gives you a estimated amount of lumens, and it was pretty much dead on with the 340 security headlamp. So yeah, I'd say if we averaged it out, we're looking at about 3,500 lumens for on this particular light. The secondary beam drops it down to 1,500, almost dead on, so it's half the illuminance, if that's a word. Alright, lantern is showing to be about 900 lumens. It's like running between, well, it's saying 960 to 970. I would feel safer saying 900 lumens just as a, you know, since it doesn't promise anything as far as that goes. The next lantern drops down to, looks like 300. So, and we'll turn that off because we don't need the strobes and the reds and the blues. Nobody wants to see the reds and the blues. The reds and the blues give you the blues. Alrighty. Well, that is the lights that I've currently been using. The two spotlights, those are the ones that I've been using for a while now, probably at least the last 2 or 3 camping trips. Counting this one, it would be 3 or 4. And the other two just got in one of the most recent battle boxes and everything, so this is my first time trying them out, and they've been working nicely. I wouldn't say that the Smith & Wesson security hat light is $34 worthy, but gotta be careful about eat a bug. I wouldn't say that it's worthy of the $34 price tag, but it's certainly not, you know, like where you feel like you were ripped off. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go that far based on what I've tested just now. So it's getting late, but that light on top of that camera right there, that light has been very useful. Most of my filming when I'm camping is done at night, so something about during the day when it's like really hot and everything, I just don't feel like doing all that. But you know, nighttime, it's like, okay, it's starting to cool down. Let's get the camera. Let's talk a little bit. Let's have a little bit of fun. I think Coco finally laid down. I think she got tired. She tinkers about for the most part, and then she'll get bored and just be like, all right, I'm going to lay down, since there's no since nobody's distributing any goodies. She has a lot of quit in her. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Have a little fireside chat here. Oh, I know one thing. I know one thing that I need to address. During the Friday the 13th camping trip, I had a couple of shorts talking about how I was sitting here and just off in the distance out towards that way, out towards the gravel road. That's probably about 100 yards from where I'm at. No street lights. Everything here is either moon or bust. The only light there is the light you bring. I heard a very loud scream from what sounded like a man, and I made the joke that he was probably being axe murdered, because in the middle of the third or fourth scream, he was abruptly cut off. Well, what I did not film later on, and this is kind of a funny story, but it's also, just silly. It's the crap that happens to me when I go camping. After I quit filming that video, I think I filmed another one about smelling cigarette smoke. Okay, that's what concerned me. I didn't care about fellas out in the woods screaming, because people can scream for whatever. There is a house not too very far from here, but far enough to where I shouldn't be hearing anyone in it scream. So concerning, but really not so much. But smelling the cigarette smoke, that's what had me a little concerned. There shouldn't be nobody close enough here for me to smell cigarette smoke. So I was either, one, having a stroke, or two, there was somebody nearby. And the answer to that particular question was, there was somebody nearby. After I said it smelled like the cigarette smoke started dissipating, and I, wrapped up the video, I was sitting here petting the dog, and all of a sudden I could smell the cigarette smoke getting stronger again. And I mean, like strong, like this person was in the vicinity. So I grab my firearm and I start walking around trying to see if I can, spot somebody. I don't want to shoot nobody, but I will tell them to get off this property. Number one, it ain't theirs. Number two, if it ain't theirs, did you really just burp? Please tell me that was a burp. Good Lord. That dog needs to, she don't need a Tums or something. Yes, I know. I'm not making fun of you, but good Lord, man. Did you drink a Coke today? What happened? Crazy animal. Anyway, I grab my firearm and I start walking around the property looking for, where this smoke is coming from. And I follow the smell up towards the hill where the entrance is, the driveway where you gotta come in at. And I'm trying to keep these bugs out of my daggone goatee here. And I get up there and I see a fella standing beside these large 6-foot metal things that we'll call it a spool. The things that they put the cable for internet and all that stuff on. There were two of them up at the entrance that were empty from where the Amish around here are getting Wi-Fi. It's about the only thing I can think of it for. Because that's all that's around here is Amish. So he's up there and he's standing next to them, not in front of them, but next to them, and he's urinating into the woods. I don't give a darn about a man taking a whiz. You gotta go, And as I'm walking up there, trying to be polite and staying just a little bit back so that he can have enough privacy to finish his process. Once he gets zipped up and turned around, this fella looks like somebody just beat the hell out of him. Coco, settle down, please. Thank you. She's losing her mind. So he turns around and I'm looking at him, he's like, this guy looks like someone just beat the crap out of him. And I said, hey buddy, is there something I can help you with? And he turns around, he starts limping back to his truck. He says, no, I'm just pinning the location of these spools. And I noticed that this guy was smoking a cigarette. He had a cigarette in his mouth. And I asked him, I was like, how long have you been in this general area? Because I just heard like the god-awfulest scream coming from what seems to be down the road there. And he looks at me, and I swear to goodness, he looked like he was just so exhausted to even tell the story. But he looks at me and he said, yeah, that was me. And I was like, it was? He said, yeah, that was me. I said, son, I thought you was axe murdered or something. All of a sudden you were screaming, and the next thing I know, the scream got cut off. I done thought Jason had got you. And he started laughing, and he's limping to his truck, and he gets inside the door, and he sits in the seat, and he goes, no, man, I'm having one of those days, and it started about 10 minutes ago. And I was like, well, brother, I'm sorry to hear that. And I was like, what happened down there? He goes, man, I was getting out of this damn truck because there were 2 other spools down at that area that he was at. He was going out to get them, pick them up, and put them in the truck. That's what he does. He goes by, he grabs all the empty spools, he puts them in that city truck, and then he drives back to the county area facility, whatever you call that, where I guess they re-spool them or whatever, and, rewire them. I guess that'd be a good way of saying it. And he said he was getting out of the truck, and this was pretty dark. I mean, it was probably, I'd say about 8:30, between 8:30 and 8:45. So it was fairly dark, not like it is now. This right now you can't. If that light was off, I probably wouldn't be able to see my hand in front of my face. But this poor fella, he was getting out of his truck to go and pick up these spools and put them in the back of the city truck and all that. And he stepped on a log about 5 to 6 inches in diameter as he was getting out of the truck, and it rolled as he was putting weight on it. It rolled. Well, if your ankle is on something that rolls, you roll too. And this poor fella, he rolled just completely, just right out of the truck. And as he's sitting there trying to position himself to where he doesn't fall onto the ground, which he does, he grabs hold of the door, okay? And of course, the door ain't gonna help him. It's on a swivel. So as he grabs hold of the door, he swivels with it, falls down on the ground, lands on his knee, and that's some very chunky gravel out there. That's not pea gravel. That's, I hope you have an HMO gravel. And he landed on his knee in that gravel, and he said, that hurt. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess I see why you were screaming. And he goes, oh no, that's not why I screamed. This is horrible. This poor fella then proceeds to try to pick himself up after falling like that. Okay? Get out of my face. After falling like that, he tries to pick himself up using the door, okay, the door that's on a swivel, as we know, car doors and truck doors are. On the swivel, he tries to lift himself up from the ground, which he does successfully, only for that foot that is still somehow on that stupid little log to roll forward and push him into the door with his hand right there on the seam. He shut his hand in the door. The door literally clunk on it shut on him. And that's what made him scream. He said the first 2 screams were out of pure pain and just being peed off. The 3rd scream was really just more frustration. And he said he got cut off during the 4th scream, or the 5th scream, who the hell knows at this point. He got cut off in the middle of the last scream because he realized he has a pack of cigarettes in his pocket. I did not know that cigarettes have healing properties, along with giving you quite possibly lung cancer. But apparently you can smoke a cigarette after rolling your ankle, slamming your hand into a car door, okay? After all those things, oh, and by the way, when he fell into the door, he hit face first. He had like a little cut, like right here, and the side of his face was red. He hit that door hard. So, that's what I meant by he looked like he just had the hell beat out of him. But apparently, the cure for that is to smoke a Marlboro. I did not know that. This is news to me. I've never smoked. I don't smoke, so I did not know of the healing properties of cigarette smoking. But this fella, this poor fella, after getting himself up off the ground, slamming his hand into the car door, okay, he decides he's going to smoke a cigarette, see if he feels better, which he does. He smokes a cigarette, he feels a little bit better, but he knows that he can't lift up those spools. They're made of metal, you know, they're huge and they're made of metal. They're damn near 6 feet tall, if not 6 feet tall. So he tells himself, is like, I'm not going to be able to pick these up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin their location on my phone so that somebody or I can come back and get them at a later date. And that's what he was doing when he was up here at the top of the hill, near this property, and taking a little pee. Poor fella. He was not having a good night. So I asked him, just figured I'd be polite. You know, would you like me to help you? You know, I can probably, help you lift this up. And he was like, no. This is not my problem now. This day is over with. I'm going home. And I told him, I don't blame you. I'd do the same dang thing if it had been me. So, about 9 o'clock at night, this poor fella gets into his truck, starts it up, and just slowly drives on down the road. I'm guessing the truck goes back to the city. Maybe he takes it home. I don't know. But between a cut over his eyebrow, a red mark on the side of his face, a smashed hand, and a rolled ankle, and I'm pretty sure there was something wrong with his knee, because there's no way you land in that gravel and your knees just go, I'm fine, thank you. It's not happening. This poor guy, he got sent through the ringer. But that is what happened that night. That's the part of the story that I never shared. Mainly because I didn't want to get that fella in trouble. You know what I mean? I don't know how people view city workers taking a whiz in the woods. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person, if you gotta pee and there's an entire forest to pee in, let her rip, tater chip, But some people, they're not that gracious. They'll tell you to tighten a knot first. Sure. So, yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. And there was no axe murder. We all survived, thank goodness. Lived to see another day, as it were. Now, after rebuking my dog, I gotta make sure she's fine. There she is. Okay, she's just hiding under my legs. She thinks she done something wrong. I want her to know she didn't do anything wrong. I just Needed her to calm down. I know what the problem is. She's ready to go to bed. Not that it's her bedtime, but it's dark, it's quiet. She wants to go to bed. And quite honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do. I got to get up early in the morning, go visit my dad, and then I got to head back home. I have to be back at work Monday afternoon. I got to be back at work Monday afternoon. This video is being recorded a couple of days after the heinous murder of Charlie Kirk. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't like to get very political, and quite honestly, I've never viewed Charlie Kirk as a political person. Everyone else says he is. They're probably right. I've never viewed him that way. I've always viewed him as an entertainer. Mainly because watching him is entertaining. he's just a funny guy. Really good, common sense, down to earth kind of guy, and the world no longer has that guy anymore. There is a manhunt. Well, I should say there was a manhunt going on when I had left. I have no idea how that's. I have no idea how that's going. How you doing, baby? I have no idea how that's going. I don't know if they've caught this person. I don't know. I know nothing. Okay, I have been off the grid, as it were. The only thing I've really got with me is a couple of power banks, which I am down to 16% on right now, and a, what do you call those, Eco River something another. I got one of those that I haven't had to touch yet, so, you know, I've got power. I don't have internet, and that's the reason why I come here. I don't want internet. I don't need it. But, I don't know. I feel like I should say something, and the only thing I really can think to say is, you know, sincere, deep, sincere condolences to his family. Hello, girl. Coco's getting tired of me talking. She doesn't know that I'm talking to you. She thinks I'm talking to myself. Quite possibly even to her. Settle down, okay? I'll be done shortly. I promise. Daddy promises, okay? You don't got to be so sad. Okay? Go ahead. Go lay down. Go lay down. Good girl. Good girl. God will help us overcome this. God will help me overcome my anger. Always does. The Lord has been very good to me. Really has. I got a good little dog who is a wonderful pain in my butt. I mean, I hammer a little joke at her every once in a while. I promise you. I do that just to be silly with the camera here. When her and I are at home, she's my cuddle buddy. She's just right up against me. We're pals. So, and she listens to me for the most part. She does. But every once in a while, she'll start chasing a butterfly, and her ears will quit working, and the only thing going is her legs and her nose. She was chasing a butterfly earlier today. Big old fat, what do they call those, monarchy butterflies? And she was chasing a moth earlier. Maybe that's what she ran out of the outhouse for. because she saw one of those moths. She was trying to catch a moth while we were inside the outhouse. Out here, I just leave the door open because there's no need in sealing myself in with all those bugs. There's a lot of bugs. And I am getting tired. I'm also approaching the 1 hour mark on this video, which is probably a whole lot more than you signed up for. And if I'm boring you, I'm sorry. It's looking like it's approaching midnight too, so that's getting to be about my bedtime. It's well past Coco's bedtime, but I don't see how that would affect her any. She sleeps all day. Anyway, if you're so inclined, I would politely ask you to pray for Charlie Kirk's family and close friends, because I can only imagine what they're going through right now. It has to be an absolute gut punch. And hopefully, by the time I get home tomorrow, they will have caught the coward that did this. Hopefully. These bugs are ridiculous. But what can you do? You got a big bright light shining in your face, and that's exactly what they love. Big bright lights. The bigger, the brighter, the better. Alright, y'all. I'm going to lay down, take a nap, and hopefully get up early in the morning and go see my dad. And hopefully I'll sleep good tonight, even though I will have a tiny, furry, I don't even know what pun to use. The dog tries to burrow under me. It's like, do you not realize you will suffocate? I'm a big guy. You can't burrow under me. Lay next to me, sure. Get under the cover, absolutely, yeah. But burrow under me? That's a good way to come up with a toe tag. Yeah. I think I'm done with my rant. Alrighty. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.